Hi there, students. Hopeless and helpless. Well, my mum always used to say I was hopeless, helpless and useless. But let's look at helpless and hopeless, because they're slightly different. They're not the same. If you are helpless, then there's nothing that you can do. You're helpless to act. Helplessness talks about the lack of power to act, while hopeless implies there is no hope in a situation. There is no motive to be optimistic. So if you're helpless, you're in a situation where you lack the ability to change the circumstances. But hopelessness, this is talking about depression. You believe that the situation has no possible positive outcome. And very often hopelessness and helplessness come together because if you're helpless, your lack of ability to change the situation is what then makes the situation hopeless. Hopelessness, it's talking about the emotional state where there is no expectation that things get better. Whereas helplessness is talking about your capability. Hopeless about your perception of the beliefs. So you feel helpless in a situation when they genuinely can't change the circumstances due to external constraints. But hopelessness, this is where you just feel no hope for the future. So helpless and hopeless. Now, very often we use helpless, meaning you're unable to help yourself. You're incompetent. And very often we use hopeless to mean terrible, particularly in British English. The transport system round here is hopeless. I'm hopeless at maths. Well, I used to be hopeless at spelling. So hopeless and helpless. Yeah. If a situation can be hopeless, I'm not going to bother to try and do anything because this situation is hopeless. My life is a hopeless mess. But also this meaning of terrible, helpless, unable to defend yourself, powerless, without help. If you're helpless, you cannot help yourself. This is something that is there is no possibility. Whereas hopeless, you're not skilled at something to be hopeless at. So I hired a cleaning lady because I'm hopeless at housework. Some people I know are hopeless at maths and they need to have help with their homework. Can you help me do this? Because I'm hopeless at solving problems like this. He's at cooking. He's absolutely hopeless. He's hopeless at cooking. I'm hopeless at keeping my room tidy. Helpless, unable to do anything to help yourself or anyone else. A 2-day-old baby is helpless. Yeah, it's unable to do anything for itself. Helpless, to be helpless against. The government is helpless to act against these types of criminals. So helpless, unable to care for yourself, unable to protect yourself, particularly against danger. I was helplessly lost. Helplessness, the noun. And then hopeless, despairing. He looked at me and made a mute, hopeless appeal. I'm hopeless at names, very bad. I never remember them. So notice this use of hopeless is a British use of hopeless. Yeah, I'm very bad at it. Helpless, unable to defend yourself. Also uncontrollable. They burst into helpless laughter. So helplessness, you're unable to stop it. Whereas hopeless, hopeless. If something that you try to do is hopeless, there's no possibility of succeeding. I tried to stop the fire from spreading, but it was hopeless. A hopeless situation is so bad that there is no chance of success. The situation isn't as hopeless as it seems. To be hopeless at something, particularly British, to be very bad. I'm hopeless with car engines. The public transport system is absolutely hopeless. I began to feel lonely and hopeless with no hope. Yeah, you're a hopeless case. Yeah, that nothing can change. A hopeless romantic, a hopeless drunk. So she was a hopeless romantic, always convinced that she would meet the man of her dreams. Helpless, lacking helpless. Okay, defenseless, as helpless as a flock of shepherdless sheep. Helpless, an inability to act, to react. I looked at the scene in helpless horror. There was helpless laughter, not able to be controlled, not able to be restrained. Okay, so helpless and hopeless, completely hopeless, helpless and useless. So helpless, powerless, vulnerable, impotent. Hopeless, desperate, despairing, useless, forlorn. It's hopeless trying to convince her. Our situation seemed hopeless. I feel hopelessness about the future. I feel helpless without you. He was a feeble, helpless old man. He lay helpless on the floor. You are completely helpless against those you love. So, a monster was attacking the helpless villagers. So, hopeless without hope, helpless without help. Bye for now.